everyone.
Hello.
We've already been filming today. We've been to an event. You'll have seen this entire outfit and everything already today. We are now in Cardinal Place in Victoria, which is lovely. There's a nice upstairs up escalators where there's like green space and seats, and it's very nice. And we're all going to the other palace tonight. We are going to see Heather's, the workshop of Heather's in the studio, and Olivia is going to see La Strada in the main space. So very excited. I will show you some clips of what we've been up to in the last like 15 minutes.
I look really white, everyone.
I know. I just look. My hair looks
I should have really white today, don't I?
Oh well. It's been a lovely day. It's been a really lovely day in the sunshine, chilling out with these losers. What the hell are you just doing?
She's like Columbia.
Oh god. Yeah, we're gonna have a really nice night. Hopefully, we just had such a good day.
It's been a good day.
So nice. And I'm really excited to see Heather's.
Check out our day in previous videos.
Literally everything
Links
from
below.
today has been documented. So, Olivia's friend is like, stop. Anyway, my arm's hurting now, so I'm going to stop filming and I'll show you everything that's happening in terms of Heather's and everything, and you know the drill. Worst lighting ever. Thank you though, Sean. Thank you for the lighting efforts. We're at the other palace now. We're just literally in like a sat queue in the stairwell of the studio. I've never done this before. This is mad. We're waiting to go to Heather's and it's so busy. This is no one ever queued for the studio. I don't even know you can hear me, but we'll chat to you later. Okay, bye. In the studio now. I don't think I've ever done a vlog in the studio.
No, but Heather Murphy wrote this whole thing, so Sonia Friedman's done it all over.
Sonia Friedman is going to be here. I don't think I've ever seen her in the flesh. I'm quite nervous. I'm a bit nervous.
But I'm a bit nervous. We
are sat at the back because the seats are comfier. It's unreserved seating in the studio. And it's quite cramped, like you can tell like there's no leg room there. So yeah, we've come to the back because the seats are comfier and just, it's fine.
And when people are stood up, we'll be able to see.
Yeah, they'll be standing over, yeah. I just think it's a better view, to be fair. So I'm really excited. We just got a little cast list, which I would have shown you in a clip. Yes, I'm excited. I literally have no idea what's going to happen. Any of the songs or anything. I am totally new to this and now I'm in the way. It's not going to be cute either way, I don't think.
I'll do that.
It's the interval. Sorry, it's quite loud, but Sean is going to have to leave me straight after the show, so I wanted him to talk through some of his thoughts.
As a Heather knower.
Yes. Tell me what you think.
I'm really enjoying it thoroughly. I really am.
Amazing cast. This cast is incredible. So
the things that I said to you that make me most upset are actually the changes they've made.
Yeah.
They've only made a couple of changes. For those who know the show, I'll give. No, they're not spoilers.
But
there are some lyric changes in a song called Big Fun, which is such a Rukaya before it's like the song.
Yeah.
And there are some of the funniest moments. Some of the funniest moments in the entire show are in that song, and they changed the funniest lyric in the entire show, which made me upset. And there are a lot of lyric changes in that were completely unnecessary. Like, I really don't know why they changed it. Because the lyric before was really basic anyway, so they changed just another basic lyric, but it wasn't as funny. And then I said to you, there's a song called Blue in the show. It won't ruin the context of it, but they changed it to a new song in this, which is more rap-based. And the song Blue, if you know it in the real show, is so funny. It's definitely the funniest song, hands down, in the entire show. And it's a real shame they changed it because the new song version of it is not funny at all. It has no humour, and it doesn't fill the moment correctly. It feels like... Okay, spoiler, if it's spoiler, I'll wave now. You can, when I wave again, you can put the sound on. Basically, it's in the moment where Ram and Kurt like have an orgy with Veronica, and the thing about that situation in there is like it's supposed to be creepy, but like, the idea of the song in Blue is supposed to be like a light-hearted version of the creepy setting, because the show isn't that dark, even though there's death in it. It's not really that dark, but this song, like Blue song, is so funny. You're like, it's disgusting, but you're like, oh, but it is funny. Whereas the new version of the song makes you think like, oh, that's so weird.
What, the one where they're singing, yeah.
The welcome kind of one, and it sounds genuinely rapey.
Yeah,
and
I was
like
oh
the vibe
God,
of the actual, like you're supposed to
not.
glide over the weirdness of the show, and actually really brought it to being a lot more real. And the thing about the song Blue is like the movie's so blue, but it's so funny. But like there are so many bits in that song that are funny anyway. Like the idea of it being blue, like she wears blue through the show, so like it's funny because she wears blue, and like it just works. So you know, you're like, why would you write that song? It works so well. So they've given us an app that we have to afterwards fill in some questionnaire. So I'm going to put on there this sacrilege to say Colour song, because that song is incredible. It's so funny and it's so catchy. You'll listen to it and you'll be like, that song's amazing. It's one of those songs always in your head.
I'm definitely going to have to listen
and I'm
to
so
it
disappointed that they don't have the song in it. All their songs are the same.
So weird.
But that one song is so good, like, I can't even cut it.
I find that really odd that they've cut it. Maybe it's because, not that it's more acceptable to talk about rape and things like that now. Maybe that's why they've made it a bit more hard-hitting. But
it's not the feel of the show. Like the show's about murder. Oh, sorry, you can come back. Well, no, you can't. Maybe it's a bit smaller. But the show's about murder. Like about it.
True.
But like the whole point of it is like black comedy. It's like supposed to be funny. The movie, it's funny, but it's like, oh my god, it's funny the whole way through. And that song made that kind of creepy, rapey bit, which is supposed to be like, oh my god, why are you making this funny? They made it legit, and it was like, oh, that kills the mood. And it's not funnier as a result.
I felt like it was still more fun.
Next week, so I'm going to turn around to him when he sits down and say, look bitch, you've done the wrong idea. Because this song's amazing.
It's so funny so he wrote it,
him with Lauren, so cool.
He's so funny being sat next to the writer, because he's like, the way he's reacting, I love it.
Like, the so funny, I'm like, that was not fun. Why would you cut the song? I'm just annoyed at him now. Every time he's like, what are you doing?
You can do.
So bad. When he said cut down, I'm genuinely going to say to him, he sat on his own for a minute. I'm like, I'm actually really disgusted. How could you cut that song? It's incredible.
So as Sean mentioned, there's an app that Paul Taylor-Mills, who's the artistic director of The Other Palace, sorry, it just got really loud, he said, right, turn the Wi-Fi on your phone, which is not, like, I don't agree with telling people to turn their phones back on before a show, but that's beside the point, and download this app called Slido, and then type in Heathers, and it's like a questionnaire of how, if we've enjoyed the show. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to film a clip of that and probably overlay this, or talk about it more when I'm at home and it's not really loud, but it's just basic questions about the show, what we think of it so far, what we think of certain things. So that's really exciting to be part of a workshop production and to have this influence, because what we say and what we think is going to affect how the production develops. Yeah, sorry, my arm was hurting, so I've moved to just me. So yeah, that's really amazing to think that every person part of these audiences, if they decide to contribute, is going to be part of the development of this show, and that's a thing that we don't normally get to do. So I'm really excited. I'm really hopeful that this is going to be in London soon. There's definitely that vibe, isn't there?
As long as they change the blue song back, I'll be happy.
Yeah, and considering as well that this is sold out, like it's sold out I think in the same day that it went on sale. So
in the first couple of hours.
Yeah, and I think that speaks volumes, doesn't it, to how much people want this show here. Because I didn't know anything about it, but I was still like, oh Heathers, that sounds like something I would enjoy. I'd quite like it to come to London. So anyway, it's really loud, I don't know if you can even hear me, so we'll say bye for now. Sean, say bye.
Goodbye everyone, I'll see you in a billion other videos coming.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how much, like, comment below, how much have you loved having Sean back in the vlogs, let's be real.
When I have better lighting, I love it too.
Welcome back to the chatty section of the video. It's been now a few days since I saw the workshop production of Heathers at the Other Palace, the world premiere, which was joked about at the start of the show. Okay, to go from the very beginning, I have never seen a queue like that to get into the studio of the Other Palace. It was mildly hilarious. You can tell the popularity of this show and this event straight off of the bat, because that doesn't happen. Like, I've never seen people queue like that to get into the studio. Before the show started, Paul Taylor-Mills came on stage and like said hello and explained what's going to happen, and then also the director of the show, let me get his name, Andy Fickman, also came on stage to explain obviously that it was a workshop production and that obviously this isn't the full thing, and joked that this was the world premiere despite being the third day of their run at the other palace, because every night they were taking on feedback from the audience and then tweaking things for the next show. So that's quite exciting to know that kind of every show in their run at the other palace was a little bit different. Everyone experienced something that was very slightly different. That's amazing. As I'm pretty sure I mentioned at some point in this video, I knew nothing about Heathers. I did not have a clue, apart from the fact I knew that it was based on a cult film, and that was about it. It's one of those shows that I thought, it's got to come to London one day, so I'm just going to avoid everything and see it completely fresh when I see it. And I'm really, really glad I did that, because when obviously it came to me watching the workshop, it was just so exciting and so new. And I said to Sean after after scene one, I was like, oh my god, I love this. I'm obsessed. It was so fun, and let me just dive into my thoughts. First of all, I have to say this cast was incredible. They literally had, like, what's the phrase, like the creme de la creme of the West End. And in the interval I overheard the director talking to someone and saying that they'd basically done all of the casting via like video auditions. Like, they got the performers to send in little clips as an audition, and I just love that because this is insane. Like, the people that they had were incredible. I'll try and take a photo of this and put it here so you can see the cast, but the Heathers were played by Amy Ross, Sophie Isaacs and Gabrielle Lewis Dodson, who I believe I've seen in productions before. I've seen Amy and Sophie in Kinky Boots, and Gabrielle, she is in 42nd Street, so I actually saw her quite recently in the show, and they were so good. Obviously I didn't know anything about Heathers before, but from what I learnt throughout the show, I felt like they were like the perfect casting for this, and they worked so well together. Their voices were beautiful. There's so much comedy in this show. I wasn't not expecting it to be funny, but I didn't think it would be as funny as it was. The very bitchy humour, don't like to swear on this channel, but it is, they are bitches, and that was just played so well. Another main character in the show is Veronica Sawyer, who is played by Charlotte Wakefield, who I have just remembered that I saw in Sound of Music at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre way back when. I thought she was perfect for this role. I thought she had the character spot on, and the sort of like dry sense of humour and the sarcasm was just really well done. And I wasn't expecting her to have like such a feisty attitude in some of the songs. I wasn't expecting that out of her, but she did it so well. Another performer that I recently saw actually at the other palace was Simon Bailey, and just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I think everyone else basically I recognise, at least from shows. Another person that I was particularly excited to see on stage again was Jamie Moscato, who played the character of Jason Dean, JD. And I think Sean was saying before the show that he thought that Jamie and Liam Doyle, who plays Kurt, yes, he played Kurt, should have been switched. And I was like, well, I don't know the characters, so I can't comment on that. I've seen both Jamie and Liam in shows, so I know what they sound like, I know what their acting's like. But having seen the show now, I think Jamie was perfectly cast for JD, because that character is very dark, and not to say that Jamie Moscato is a dark person, but I think he was really able to tap into that darkness in the acting and singing choices. And not to say that Liam couldn't have done that, but I just think they both suited their characters really well. I think because I saw Jamie in Dogfight at the Southwark Playhouse, and also the St James Theatre, which is now the other palace. I've seen like everyone at the other palace, that there's some moments in Dogfight which are really dark and raw, and that really, the two characters are quite similar in some aspects. So that's, I think, where I agreed that the casting was great. Basically, that was that whole spiel. Just to say it was great. I mean, I could talk about the whole cast, but I feel like it would be an entire video in of itself. So let's move on to the next point on my notebook. Going back to the director quickly, he was actually sat in the audience just on this, like, basically side of the stage, and he narrated the show, which was really helpful. Like, these sort of stage directions, like so and so arrives and such leaves, and this is the location and that happens, because obviously when it's a small workshop you don't have all those visual elements, so it's really helpful to kind of know what's going on or know what to expect if this were a full production. The music of this show is so catchy. I've literally had the songs stuck in my head basically every day, which is quite rare, I think, when it's something that's new to you and if you've not listened to it a lot, because it can be very overwhelming to see a new show or a show that is new to you and not know anything about it. To then have the song stuck in your head, I think, is a real credit to the production, because sometimes I can leave a show and not remember any of the songs that have just been performed, which sounds bad, I know, but sometimes songs just aren't that memorable. And for this show, that definitely wasn't the case. There are amazing musical numbers in this show. They are so catchy and definitely have that like 80s vibe, which makes sense because it's set in the 80s. I've written in my notes that it reminded me of Legally Blonde and also Next to Normal because of the fun and the dark side of the show, and that makes sense because the music and lyrics and the book is by Lawrence O'Keefe, who did Legally Blonde, so it makes total sense. I find it incredible that this cast had only been, I think they only rehearsed it for a week or something, and then obviously they were getting changes every single day, but it all seemed pretty seamless to me. Obviously I don't know the show inside and out, so I can't fully comment on whether that was the case, but it all seemed really like natural and well done. They had like books with the music and lyrics and everything and the lines, that's the word I was looking for. So if they did need to look and just double check, they could, but I feel like for most of the show they didn't really need to use those, and actually their books were used more as props because obviously it's set mostly in a school. And it's funny because again, another thing I overheard the director saying was that they gave the notebooks obviously to each cast member and then got them to like design them basically as if it was a school folder. So that was a really nice touch to see that they personally had drawn on the folders what they thought the character would draw on them. It was just a really nice touch rather than just having blank folders. Another thing I really enjoyed about the music, quickly going back to that, was that it felt really modern despite it not being. And I can totally see why people love this show so much because of not only the crazy story but the music as well. I totally get why people are hooked. In terms of the story itself, I think it's a really interesting one, and I think it's really relevant to have shows like this because bullying is a big thing, especially in schools and then also just like in adult life as well. And I think to have it shown through a musical, it helps people see how stupid it is at some points, like bullying as a thing. I think it's a really important topic to be put on stage, and especially in a way that, it sounds really, really bad, but the way you enjoy it. Like, obviously there are some really hard topics in this show, like bullying and suicide and like murderers, and but you enjoy the show and you find it funny and you laugh, and I think it's amazing to watch a show like this and think that's really serious but I'm laughing about it. It's just amazing and interesting and all of the adjectives. Along that trail of thought, this show gave me Urinetown vibes, another show that I saw at the St James, now at the Palace Theatre. It all comes back to this theatre, doesn't it? One other thing that I wrote in my notes, I said it's interesting that you leave on a high because of how good the show is and how exciting and how fun the music is, despite the really dark themes of the show. I mean, how they've written a show that can do that is quite amazing. One last thing that I want to say, because I know this video will have been ridiculously long already, is that I think it's amazing how they're using this little app called Slido to gain feedback from audiences. I've yet to put mine in and I really need to do that, but I did a screenshot of the app which I'll put here so you can see what it looks like and the questions that they've asked. But that is how they are gathering kind of feedback for the show to then move it forward in the development stages. And I just think it's really intriguing to see how technology and theatre are like coming together in that way, like modern technology. It's something I'm really quite passionate about and a bit geeky about, so when they spoke about that before the show, I found that really interesting, and I'm really excited to see the development of this show. I am like 1000% certain that it will have a home in London at some point. I think it would work really well in the Other Palace main theatre space. That would be a lovely transition for it to go from the studio to the main space, but I'm sure there are other small venues that it could start off in, and then maybe West End, who knows. I think the British audiences will love it. I'm not an expert, but that's what I think. Okay, I'm going to wrap things up here. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do let me know if you managed to see Heathers the musical, the workshop of it at the Other Palace, or if you've seen a production of it elsewhere. I've had a little search online to listen to more of the songs and seen that there's been like quite a few school productions and things like that. So yeah, let me know if you've ever seen a production, or maybe you've done a production of it, because I'd love to hear your experiences of seeing the show. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of me in the future. I make a lot of theatre content, so if you've enjoyed this, hopefully you will enjoy some of my other videos. I hope you're doing really well, and I will see you very soon. Bye!